cracking? What's cracking?
Oh, look at y'all! Happy Wednesday. How's everyone
Hey.
doing?
Peace and blessings to everyone.
All right.
Gravy.
So welcome to the experience, everyone. I am your girl, Black Pearl. And I think this is my right. No, it's my left. My left.
The one that makes it ill.
Oh, Lord. To my left, we got Taro, Mr. Chocolate in the house.
What's cracking? Hump day. Hump
All
somebody.
right. And then to my right,
Did you say hump somebody?
he said
Yeah,
hump
that's what he
somebody.
said.
Hump
He
day.
sure did. He's promoting for humpification. That's what he did.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
To my right, I got the doctor. Go ahead, Tyrone, say it.
I said the doctor's in the house.
We got
What's up,
Dr.
y'all?
Royal
I
Rain.
respect it.
What's happening? What's happening?
All right. And next to Dr. Royal Rain, I got Ms. Communication.
What's going on, everybody? I'm on a Wednesday. I'm moving up.
All right. So right here to me, I hope he's right here to you. I got Balo the Great. How you doing?
What it do, people? I'm here to raise hell.
Oh, no, Lord.
He ready to raise hell. All right. And right here to me, I got B-Love back on the show. Hey, B-Love.
Back on the show, feeling like a king right now.
Love.
And then we have a new face. Welcome to the group. I have D-Rod. Introduce yourself, D-Rod.
Peace and blessings, y'all. D-Rod, the poet, determination, riding on destiny, representing Tampa, Florida, by way of New York and Jamaica, and we're here to speak some truth today.
Ooh,
All right.
Jamaica,
Lord.
West Indian brother. How are you?
He sound woke. He came in
We
with
sound completely
peace and
woke. I feel like I need to
blessings.
wake up some
Poet.
more.
Right.
Put my third eye on. Jesus.
Yes, sir. Somebody about to get cut tonight.
He all in his chakras and everything. I like that.
Yes.
All right.
It's only
Did
right.
you stage before you come on? Or did you can't do all of this before you came on?
Nah.
Oh, okay. He's gonna have to do it when he finished. But anyway, so today our topic is, do women have realistic expectations of men? So before we get into it, because I feel like y'all all gonna jump at the same time.
No, we're not.
No,
Go ahead
okay.
and set it. Go ahead
So
and
we
set the tone.
did, so we did ask our viewers,
Yes.
women, what they expected of men. And I want to read a few of them so that we are all on the same page of what some of our viewers were saying they expected of men. So here you go. So some of the comments were, I expect my man to support and provide for our family, love and encourage me, be curious when it comes to my interests, and bring ease to my life. I also expect honesty and hope for vulnerability. Someone else said, love me beyond measure, be totally 100 so that I can decide if I want to go forward in the relationship and we can work through things together. Always know that I have his back no matter what. Support me financially, emotionally, pick me up when I'm low, and never be responsible for my happiness. Just contribute to it naturally. Be my best friend, someone I can tell anything to, and he doesn't have to agree. Just listen and don't judge. Agree to disagree. I could go on and on. So we heard things like consistency, communication, vulnerability, which is a big thing that we've talked about before, loyalty, clear communication. So the question is, and I'm gonna answer because I feel like I gotta step back after. I'm gonna ask the gentleman.
Well, Pearl, before you say it,
Go ahead, honey.
I feel the need to let our panelists and our guest viewers know 2 of us on this panel are married. Okay, let's be clear. So for me, the reason why I'm gonna be clear because I don't know how Mr. Chocolate. I can call him Mr. Chocolate.
You
I don't know how
Mr.
Chocolate.
Everybody can.
Not again, but
No.
I don't know how Mr. Chocolate is going proceed in this, but the doc is gonna be quiet. She's gonna listen. She's going to absorb. I'm going to interject from time to time just to throw a little curveball in there from time to time. But all is well in the house of the doc. So I don't have nothing.
She said ain't no complaints from me.
Oh, okay. I
You
see. I
understand what I'm
see what I see.
The royal, but that doesn't mean that there aren't expectations. And I think that's for me the misconception.
We
A
expect
woman
each
can have
other to be.
expectations of her man in a marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we already know what our expectations are, and that's just for us to be who we are, and we understand that, and we just move in that. So I'm going, Mr. Chocolate, did you want to say something before we start this thing off? Because you are a married man, but I don't know, maybe you got some expectations, or your wife got some expectations of you. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, everything's look again. I'll say what you said. Everything's good in the chocolate house. The chocolate house is good, so you know. Now
So
I might.
the royal house is good and the chocolate house is good.
So I might shade a little something, but I'm just talking about it in general. I'm observing these streets. You know, like Charles Barkley and them. They used to play. They were tired, and now they comment on it. So I comment on the street.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say stuff, but it's not me. I'm a commentator now. I'm retired.
He's reformed.
Look at the streets.
Right.
Oh, look at that move. Oh, back when I played.
Y'all
you know
two
what I'm
married folks, stop justifying it and let's
Wait a
get to the topic.
minute.
Right,
Balo,
that's
you married?
Yep.
He already said he's raising hell. He didn't
He's
ask.
raising hell.
But
Don't
okay,
worry
well, come
about
on.
him.
Let's
He's raising hell.
Came onto the
Let's get into
scene
it.
ready.
No. My connection died. I didn't. When
No.
it comes to that-
They're justifying that they're married, so they're just spectating. That's
we're just gonna throw
Oh,
out
I'm gonna raise.
commentary.
That because I'm gonna raise hell then. So
Told
Yeah,
you.
go
I told you.
ahead. Go ahead.
You don't need to justify. All right. So the question is, and all I need to start off is a yes or no. That's all I need. Did you hear the direction? Yes or no? No hell yet, Balo. Okay. All right. Yes or no, Tyrone? Do you feel that women have realistic expectations of men? Go. Yes or
Some do, but a bunch of them, I think.
Yes or
Yes
no?
or no?
Yes or no? It's yes or no.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Right. Since
Royal.
y'all, all right.
Royal. Yes or no? Do women have realistic expectations of men? Yes, they do, or no, they don't.
No, they don't.
Miscommunication.
No, they don't.
Balo.
yeah, they do. So do.
They have realistic expectations.
No, they don't. I'm just-
Okay, I'm about to say this. I'm out, bro. We can't raise hell.
My bad. I'm just ready. You know me.
I know you are. Be-Love. Do women have realistic expectations of men?
No, they don't.
And D-Rod.
No, they don't.
Damn, nobody said yes.
Some do, because woman is not a monolith.
Oh, see, now they jump on him. Jump all over me.
Or
And then
no?
we can go
Look,
to it.
I gotta be honest. If you're
No,
asking me
we're
if
just
every
starting there, and then you could break it down. That's just a yes or no. Come on.
He said,
Choose a side.
No, they
I'll answer for you. No. We unanimous?
No.
No. All
So
right.
the panel thinks that no, the answer is no. No, women do not have a realistic expectation of men.
if
Okay.
we're speaking in general, and which we
in
are,
general.
Before we break it down, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So now to the men. You hear I said that to the men. What do you feel? And I guess I'm gonna start with our guests since
Yes.
What do you feel that women expect of you as a male? Or of men, maybe in general might be easier.
all right. So every woman is different. In general, one of the common themes is a sense of security,
Mhm.
a feeling, which is crazy because we try to judge it on physical items and stuff, but really it ends up being a feeling. How do you make that person feel? So they want to feel secure. They want to feel like they got something they can stunt to their friends about. They want to feel they have something that they can come to when they can't come to nobody else. But all of that is based on what it is that you communicate. When you talk about expectations don't mean nothing if you ain't speaking it to the other person. All you're doing is setting somebody up for a test or fail. And I told people, we grown. We ain't here for testing. Say what you want. Let's go ahead, because I'm gonna fail it every time on purpose, even though I'm the smartest person you ever meet.
Okay. Be love. What do you feel that
I can piggyback off of some of what he said. I think it was I would use more of the word emotion instead of feeling. I think with women it gets way more emotional. So if you don't tap into that, then it'll just open up the door for way more other things that take place. And yeah, I mean, like outside of that, it's like again, it's case by case scenario, but it could be anything under the sun. I mean, it could be, securing the bag, or it can be, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. It's just different. It's just different women out there.
Okay, Balo, go ahead. Come out of hell and tell me what you think.
I guess it's what stage of life you were in. When you're younger, you're looking at one particular perspective of what you think a woman may want and what she may demonstrate that she wants. And later on in life, as you mature, you find out you need different things in life. You need different things from your partner. At this stage in my life, and being with my wife as long as I've been with, I know what she wants and know what she likes. So it's easy for me. But if I was just meeting my wife, it would be difficult for me to actually understand what she wants, because I have no idea who she really is until we actually get to know one another. So in all aspects, it really takes communication from two different levels. You have to be able to communicate from a physical, then you got to be able to communicate from an emotional level.
Okay, look at y'all being all nice. I'm not even gonna do the hellion yet.
The alcohol ain't hit yet.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Good. Okay, well, it's your turn now because you came in late.
Oh, Lord. All right, where we at?
So it's a two-parter. So it's first just yes or no. First, just yes or no. Do women have realistic expectations of men? Everybody said no if it make you feel better.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with the group.
Okay, so someone said the question too broad. So in a relationship, what do you think a woman expects from you?
I guess the simple answer. I mean, I guess it depends on who you with.
I don't know how y'all trying to be socially correct.
I'm gonna bust some of this up myself. Go ahead.
I already know where this is going.
Yeah, it depends on who you with. I mean, I feel like each woman requires something different. Maybe in like a general perspective, comfortability, safeness, whether that's financially or physically. I feel like that's kind of like a standard, but again, the question is super broad, and it may depend.
It's okay. We're about to break into hell. It's okay.
We're gonna crack it wide open.
We're about to crack it wide open. So I'm gonna let miscommunication go, because if she press her lip anymore, her teeth are gonna chip.
I mean,
what do you as a woman expect from a man in a relationship?
Okay. So like I said, I had to write this stuff down because my brain was going real hard. It's respect, honesty, commitment, accountability, your word being your bond. That part that's so important. Intelligence, good character, upbuilding, kindness, love, and affection. Now, all those things don't seem like they're that serious.
No job? They don't need a job?
See, and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. See, those, I don't know if those things should be, if we're talking about monetarily and stuff like that, yeah, you could be it would be nice for you to be a provider. It'd be nice, these things are important.
We're talking about what you want. No, hold on, boo. We're talking about what you want. What you want in a man.
I said what you want.
What do you want in a man?
What I just said,
you want an Avenger.
What I just said is what I said. I said those things, right? But here's the problem. I think I think what everybody's been saying about the question being too broad is because of the word expectations. Because one of the things about the word expectations is that there also comes a period of being disappointed. If you're expecting something, sometimes you will be disappointed, and that's a problem. So maybe we shouldn't use the word expectations, and maybe we should use the word standard or requirement.
Why would we use that? Why would we use those words? Please, because I need to understand. I'm slow. I'm so slow. I
Okay.
am on the short bus short. I'm a short
Okay.
bus shorty. What is the difference between expectation and the word of expectation and standard? Help me understand it. What's the difference?
So okay, so a standard means that this is the minimum. This is the minimum, the you know, the bare minimum, right? That's a standard. Whereas an expectation is like, okay, if I go to work every day, I expect to get a paycheck at the end of the week. I expect to get a paycheck, right? Because I put a certain amount of work.
More women have an expectation than a standard. They expect their man. They expect their man to buy stuff. They expect their man to pick me over someone else. They expect their man to take them on dates. They expect their man to be, you know, fly. It's you're saying standard, like, you know, everyone is standing there at a standard. I think it's expectation, because expectation is what leads to disappointment.
But here's the thing, Black Pearl. But here's my question. With expectations, there should be some sort of reciprocity.
Yes.
So as much as you want me to give you, you got to give me too.
So that's different, though.
That is different. That's different.
Nah, but look, the thing is, why a lot of guys are saying no, because a lot of times women have expectations that they don't meet themselves.
Exactly.
And it's weird as hell. It's like you want all of this stuff, and you like.
Well, it's like the average woman, and not one woman who answered. I even got answers from another group. Every woman said honesty.
That costs you nothing. That's free.
Yeah, but honesty, if we say we want honesty, if a dude was like, you need to lose some weight because your ass is getting big, you can't get mad. You asked for honesty.
Oh, you body shaming me. I'm body shaming. I'm gonna play Lizzo.
That's an extreme.
Wait.
Hold on. Do you got something? Come on, D.
Question.
Come on through.
Question.
On,
Aren't expectations based on what we set as our standards?
Not always.
Not always.
That is how it should be, but that's not how it is.
Question.
I agree that's how it should be.
Question.
No, go ahead.
Is expectation built off historical trends?
It can be. That's why it says not always. Like, for example.
With that being said, if you grew up expecting one thing out of a person and you were brought up the wrong way, so to say, then you expecting a bad situation, a bad relationship, then, right?
Yes, but I do not feel that expecting or setting a standard is wrong until you are not able to meet that person where you expect them to be.
So vice versa.
People,
if that standard is put upon, if that same standard is set out for you, and you don't meet that standard, how are you supposed to feel?
So can I interject one? I'm gonna clarify something.
No, not you. Please, I'm not ready.
I told you. I'm here to bring.
You're here to shake some stuff up.
I'm here to shake some stuff loose. When I hear miscommunication talk about standards, sis, I'm gonna go back to what you originally said. Okay, when you was going down your list, you said honesty. You said loyalty. I think, babe. Give me that first part. Give me a couple of them from the top.
Respect.
To me, those are standards.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? That standard has nothing to do with necessarily an expectation in the broader sense. A standard sets the tone. A standard is basically like your baseline. Okay. So if we look at standards, even for a man, and I keep telling y'all I got strong masculine energy, even though I'm very feminine. But if I was a man,
we need examples.
If I was a man, as a male, my standard for a woman may entail the very same things miscommunication just spoke of. As a man, you would want those respect, the loyalty, all of that at the top that she had just mentioned. Now, hold on. When we start talking about expectations, that's when stuff get great. That's when stuff gets all funky, because that's when we start talking about, as a woman, and I'm gonna be blunt, if I may. Excuse me, gentlemen, but don't excuse me, because I told y'all how I get down.
Come on now, you know you good.
Come on with it, God.
As a woman, the expectation may be, I need a man who has a nice home, a big home. I ain't talking about no I ain't talking about no trailer park. I'm talking about a nice home. I'm talking about a man who has 6 digits as far as his financial income is concerned.
Okay.
Okay. I'm talking about a man who got 6 inches or more.
I was waiting for you to
when
come
it's right here.
Oh.
Okay.
I knew it.
I told y'all. Look, I ain't even playing no games.
Yeah,
See,
yeah, no, that's
y'all
okay.
over here
That's
want to,
okay.
y'all over here want to play Ring Around the Roses.
Yeah,
I
said
need us to get down to the meat because that's what we're talking about.
But it's the truth. It's the truth. Like
Right.
we being nice, everybody being nice. Nobody want
Yeah,
to
stop all this woo woo stuff.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Let's give
talk some
specific
real
examples.
You know what's funny though?
What, baby?
If I remember right, Miss Black Pearl, you said that you pulled answers from 2 different groups, right? To see as far as what women were saying as their expectations of men, right? How about this being a problem? Not one of them said this person be an adult taking care of themselves.
That's it.
exactly.
Right?
That's my point.
Right? A lot of people, you put expectations on somebody who's never even shown you that they can even live up to the expectations that you haven't even
There
told
you
them
go.
about in the first place, right?
Man,
Now,
yeah,
and guess what? Vice versa, right? You shouldn't be looking for anybody about expectations if you can't take care of yourself by yourself, first and foremost. If you need somebody to run your crib or pay your rent, you might not be ready to be in a relationship.
I totally agree with you.
But that's how it is though. A woman can work at McDonald's, be broke, and still be desired. A man work at McDonald's being broke.
Not
Is it because they feel like, well, I want someone who can take care of me financially, and you're not making enough to take care of me financially?
No, what it is that a part of expectations come from society. So again, people look at who's looking at them, and they don't want to be seen as this or that. So I'm gonna make sure that this person puts me in a position where nobody can say nothing to me, and I'm bossing and I'm doing it is what it is.
So this is where I look at it. Expectations are unique to the person for which you are setting those expectations. So with that being said, if you're seeking a partner in life, husband, whatever, then you need to put yourself in an environment where you can meet a set group of personnel that are going to meet certain expectations and hope they can reach the rest of them. So if you're looking for a man who can get you all those financial gains, who has that type of physical energy, emotional and sexual energy, you shouldn't be going to McDonald's. You shouldn't be going to Hardee's. You should be putting yourself in an environment where you can meet those for the network with these people. Now, with that being said, you better come with your A game. If you ain't come with your A game, those same expectations that you have for that man is gonna look for that same expectations out of you. At least I would.
Can I ask a question? When you say A game, what are you talking about?
Meaning A game, when you come with yours, see, when I was out in the world, before I was married, when I was dating, I literally almost done a background check because I'd already been through a bunch of messed up relationships where I wasn't ready to deal with. I wasn't ready to deal with that mess again. So when I went on a date, I met a woman in a neutral location. We talked about everything except for the stuff that she was comfortable with, and then once we moved forward with that. You learn certain traits about people. It ain't necessarily about if you live in a $2,500 a month rent apartment. It's about how you carry yourself, and if you carry yourself in a certain way, no matter what environment you in, you're gonna carry yourself that way. You're not gonna fall back on the old traditions. So that's what I mean by A game. You carry yourself a certain way, and this I'm speaking for myself. So if she was expecting those expectations out of me, you best believe I'm going to expect the same thing out of her. And once again, I always say this, my wife is my rib. So in order for me to be complete, I got to have my rib. I just can't have any old rib out there. I got to have the one that fits me. Mm-hmm. She fits me. She meets my expectations, which are unique to me. And hopefully I meet hers.
All right, so you married, so Justin, man, you out in these streets, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I asked the young boy in the streets. So what's going on in the streets? Because I'm Charles Barkley commentating. All right, so what's going on? You out here playing for real. You the young guy, man. What's going on in the streets, man?
Shoot,
Keep it real. Keep it real.
Keep it real.
Come on with it.
Don't worry, it won't mess up your game. It won't mess up your game.
I'm trying to get where y'all at. No, I mean
There's only 3 people here married. Not everybody's
okay,
married.
so again, the question is super broad. I think we've addressed that. I mean, the streets. I mean, it depends. Like I've met women on I guess each end where it's like you meet the ones who is like, I need you to take me out, so I'm expecting steak 48 dinner dates, and you know, I ain't even gonna lie. Like last summer, shorty was like, "Yo, we going to Target, and you gonna purchase my whole cart?" And I'm like, "Huh? I'm doing
Wow.
what? I do it, yeah." You know, so you have those that are out here, and I guess, but that was an expectation. But apparently, her love language is gift giving.
Hell no, not no whole.
Apparently forced.
They see that they be violating the love languages.
You
They be
feel me?
violating the love language.
Me don't speak English.
Yeah. And then, you know, I've met some who I probably should have, you know, cashed it in, you know, turn it in for where their expectation was just, you know, just someone just being, you know, a solid person to them. So I mean, it depends. It depends on who you meet and where you meet them at. Yeah, as far as what's going on out here.
What about you other 2 single men up here? Like
let's
seriously, like let's cut the cheese now. Like y'all being too gentle right now. I need you to be raw. Let's just come on.
Can I also add something real quick though?
Yes, love.
Go
You sure
ahead.
can.
So I'm not sure because I'm not familiar, but now that like this question is out, I feel like this question is obviously had amongst like Black people, but like I wonder in other cultures, like, you know, the expectations that I'll say this obviously because I'm around like more Black people and I hear Black people having this conversation, but I feel like the expectation that Black women have are a lot different than expectation than women from other cultures or other races or other ethnicities have.
Okay, break it down.
I don't know about that. I think Black are louder with their expectations than others.
And I'll say this again. I know this is not obviously this does not apply to all women, but a lot of conversations you hear, as Miss Rain said, where you know it's 6 figures, 6 inches. Sometimes I need a 6-pack too. I have not seen that. I have not seen that in other cultures where it's just so many stipulations in order to try to make a relationship work or what they need from a man. Now, again, I haven't been around enough cultures or I guess been with them long enough, obviously as long as I've been Black, but I don't feel like that is a thing as much as it is in Black culture. That's
I've been around other cultures and it is quite different. It is.
It
Because in other cultures, from my experience, because of course I haven't been around every single culture on the face of this planet, but other cultures, when women have these ridiculous amount of what they consider ridiculous amount of expectations, they're considered high maintenance.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's why there's a whole movement of, you know, passport bro movement. People moving overseas.
Yeah.
Finding wives.
And then. Oh, my fault, Todd. But,
go ahead.
But yeah, but even, you know, I teach or I taught part of my life is now over with. Thank you. But like when I was around like my Hispanic students, like most of their dads had very I would say normal or average, you know, the type of jobs that I hear Black women say that like, nah or hell no. They are very blue collar, you know.
Yeah, because they're still taking care of the family. It doesn't matter.
Right, yeah, but as long as the family is taken care of, and then they also don't have I don't know. Saying materialistic isn't the right word to use.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It absolutely is.
It sure is.
They live very
right. I was blessed because my parents were old when they had me, so I got their upbringing, their standards coming from the islands or what have you, and it was more focused on the success of the family, not how well we look to our neighbors.
Yeah,
right. We lost that. We've lost that.
That's a fact. Yeah, and I will say, I'm not just saying this, but I admire Tyrone's and my aunt's relationship, and also my grandparents. But that was and I tell women all the time, like, I grew up looking up to my grandma and granddad, and I'm sure they had their problems. I've kind of heard about some things, but it was like my granddad worked, and I think he made all right money. He worked for himself, and my grandma took care of stuff at the house, and like that's just what. Well, and it was fine. We lived in a double. I mean, I don't know. Was it single wide tile?
Yeah,
double wide house? But
it's
like,
it's clean though.
Yeah, and look, I feel like we grew up well. But like, that's what worked for our family. And like, I know, again, I don't know my grandparents, relationship, in and out. I don't know where they, messed up or whatever. But I do know that my granddad is by far one of the most solid men. Anybody, he's taking care of 2 or 3 generations worth of, and I don't know how much better of a man you get from that. So
go ahead, Bethel.
Can we say that, and I'm just throwing it out there because we, like I said, y'all trying to be real nice about it. So can we say that there are times where men accept the unrealistic expectations of a woman?
D said nope.
You didn't even let me finish.
Come on with it, baby. Go and go on and say what you were going to say.
Please finish what you're saying, but at that point, no. But go ahead.
I was saying, do you think sometimes a man accepts the unrealistic expectations of a woman because maybe she looks good, or she's exciting, or she's the
honestly,
right?
Oh, that's short term. Yeah, short term.
Yeah, exactly.
But you end up getting stuck with most of those people.
That almighty P.
Nah, that's where single mothers came from.
Many baby mamas as we have, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I mean. They didn't get stuck. That's where single moms can come in. They be out and not dealing with them.
Question, ladies. I got a question for you. Do your expectations of a man change as you mature?
Yes.
Yeah.
So as young ladies, you had one expectation.
I think it depends on the person. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Belo. Go ahead.
I think what happened was I can only speak for myself at this point. I'm not gonna speak for myself. So I feel as though my toleration level has changed as I've gotten older. So what I used to tolerate as a younger woman in terms of certain things, there's red flags, there's situations that I was like, that doesn't feel right or whatever. That now that I'm older, it's completely different. Like I do not have the patience or the toleration for things that are not part of my ministry at this point. No, we're not doing that.
But do you expect a man to be patient with you as you still go through your journey?
Yes, but at the same token, but wait.
See?
Bro, let me go back. Let me go back for a second. Go ahead. What I mean by that, I'm trying not to double talk. What I mean by that is there is a certain amount of I will give a man a certain amount of space in terms of doing whatever it is that you need to do. But at the same token, I'm not gonna do what I like. I'm not that person that's like I have experience now. So when certain things are not right, I'm not gonna say, oh well, you know what? Let me give him some more time and let me figure. Nah, we're not doing all of that this time.
But do you expect a man?
No, actually, I don't. You know what? Let me take that back. I don't expect him to do that. I don't expect him. No, I'm not. Everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. But what I mean by that is, if I'm not where I need to be for you, I feel as though it's only fair that if I'm not where I am for you, then I should be. It's only fair. At this point, I'm about fairness. At this point, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and I'm not going to be where everybody needs to be, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. Right now, I'm okay with that. I wasn't like that when I was younger, though. But right now, I'm okay with that. If I'm not what you thinking that you need to have as your woman, that's fine. We can move on. We can keep on moving. That's fine.
I need these two in the bottom.
These two on the bottom?
I want to tap in.
Pause, guys. Pause. You asked the ladies, and the other single person is me. I do not expect anything from anyone that I'm not going to bring to the table. It's just not going to work like that, right? So to me, if you're building a relationship, there is no such thing as I do not have patience. That doesn't make sense because it's two different people who come from two different worlds, and I have to get to know you. Now, if it's a case of you're not where I need you to be, we shouldn't even be on that page. Let's move.
Exactly.
We wasting each other's time. That's not patience. That's tolerance. Two different things.
I said tolerant. I did say tolerant. I did not.
Two different things.
Okay.
Now, wait. I want to make one more comment. I do not believe 100% that men do not allow a woman to believe that her lack of expectation or lack of standards is not okay.
Say that one more time. I just want to make sure I got you.
I do not believe 100% that a man allows a woman to believe that her lack of standards or her lack of expectations is not, like, if she doesn't expect anything from herself, like you don't expect nothing from her, she's not where she needs to be. You guys, and that's a general you guys, not you guys, there are guys, how about I put it like that? There are guys that accept it. You take it because she's good for right now, or she looks good, or she's exciting, and then you make that person believe that the bare minimum is enough.
You know what that's
called? Hold on. Okay, in that situation, absolutely not, right? Now, what that person tends to believe is in their own head, right? But if they tell me that there's no expectations, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Most guys is not looking at that as any type of long-term thing. Okay, if they look good or whatever, I'll let you think whatever. But
that's what the women's thinking.
They not going into no relationship with them.
That's exactly what Tyrone's saying. That's what women is thinking, because that's what we're
you thinking.
In our head.
They ain't thinking that they clapping cheeks for a while. They clap some cheeks.
Again, here's the first thing with expectations. Expectations have to be communicated. If you are an adult, there's nothing wrong with having them, but you got to express, you got to communicate. And if you're afraid that your expectation is going to push a person away, then you shouldn't even try to be with that person.
And that's what I was about to say earlier when someone asked the question. I think it was you asked the question: Do women evolve? That's not how you worded it, but that's basically what you had asked. And I said it is contingent on that specific woman. Some women do not mature
at all.
It's real.
At all.
You can be 40,
90,
50, 60, whatever. You can be whatever age, whatever your mindset is, your mentality is. If that's what you are locked into and that's your mindset, then that's what your mindset is going to be. Until you do put in some work in order to grow and develop that. But go ahead, D. Go ahead. I'm with you.
So
go ahead.
That goes back to a point of one of the things that Black Pearl read as the expectations from the women in the two groups, right? One of them was they want a man to give 100% before they're ready to go forward. So you want a person to give you everything before you figure out whether you even want to be in a type of relationship with them. How's that a realistic expectation, or like Lynn was, as miscommunication would say, a fair expectation?
So this is the way I look at it.
Because if I'm throwing in 100% not day one, but either way in the beginning, I'm talking about bringing stuff to the table. I bring the whole damn table to the table. What are you bringing me? Do you got the chairs? You got some plates, some silverware? Again, it's a lot of case by case situations, but it's a lot of stuff out there that really don't make sense if you're trying to get to know somebody and develop a relationship. And I do think a lot of people's expectations just change over time, which also complicates things too. You can start off at this point, and then it goes from I need the respect to I need the 6 inches and the 6 figures to I need this. It'll just constantly keep growing, and then shit. When are you gonna tap out? At some point somebody's gonna go the other way.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I feel like too. Just my observation from the commenter stand. I see like when women get older, the expectations get weird because now like you have kids, you're older, but you want like a guy with a bunch of money and like a 6-pack and have all this stuff, but it just a dude with money don't want you. Dude with money want a young girl without babies and stuff. It's just,
Right.
and you know, it sounds mean, but it is what it is. You know, but you see that a lot. It's like, oh yeah, I want a man with money, and he's going to love my kids like they're his. And you may find one, but that's them unicorns and leprechauns out here in the streets.
100%. Say that again.
So you might have to go look at the plumber, you know, with a kid or two who's treating you right. But a lot of times people don't do that. They're like, oh, that working class dude, he ain't got no money. You know, it's I don't know. I see that out here a little bit in my, you know, as I observe the streets. I'm seeing this you know.
Okay, so we all said, let me just point out some stuff. We all said no when I asked the question, do women have realistic expectations? Every single one of us, even Justin, who came in last minute, said no. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're dancing around because we all doing a two-step around the top. So there is something that is fueling the answer to be no. And I think if we need to be more specific is, why is it the expectations of a Black woman so trivial, so precious, such a big thing?
Because it's based on society. It's based on a false narrative. Our society is messed up on a lot of levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's the fact that we are moving up to a society where people can look at each other on a more even level is great. The idea that people become on a more even level by getting over on each other is horrible. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole set of people who are now identifying as city girls, or what he was saying, passport bros and all this stuff here. Yep. Yo, you're looking about trying to show yourself as somebody else to who? Like, you're really worried more about how other people look at you than the person you're trying to be in a relationship with. And that's where a lot of problems start.
I do understand that, but I also feel I agree with you. So let me just drop that period right after that. Boop, I agree with you. I also think, unfortunately, there's a struggle that happens with Black women. We feel forgotten, we feel not seen, and we put the pressure on Black men to see us, to accept us, to want to, not to leave and go with the white woman or the Hispanic woman. See us, we're here, we've had your back the whole time. And I think that we put unrealistic expectations on men because we expect y'all to, in some strange way, save us.
Can I tell you something?
It's not, the Black love is not celebrated. The Black love is not acknowledged. So I think in a Black, see, I'm just bringing it to the Black.
Like 85% of Black men marry Black women. So I mean, Black men are what that's like the height. Like everybody jumping to. We see y'all. Y'all
go ahead, dog.
And I was about to say there are a lot of brothers out here who do see us. The issue is we can't see our own asses. We can't.
Right. You don't see the brothers.
I'm trying to tell you,
see that.
That's the issue.
Yes.
So it has nothing. It has nothing to do necessarily with the man not being able to see, because oftentimes, like I said, there are a lot of brothers out here doing their due diligence, letting that woman know, I see you, I hear you, I understand you, as far as her emotion. The issue is she's so daggone conflicted and confused. She don't know herself from her ass.
I agree.
From her head. That she's
talking about
so
expectations. That's what I'm saying. The expectation is put outward. That's what I'm saying. It's not inward. You're saying, and we're all agreeing, it, like what did Cat Williams say? It's called self-esteem because it starts with yourself. But women are projecting it outwardly, which creates the unrealistic expectation.
I think in some aspects, it's like some women expect men to see them as they see themselves, which is not always truly what they are.
Correct.
Which where they want to go or want to be, but you got to see me as that. Nah, men are realistic. We look at the here and now because we have to assess the here and now because we got to prepare for the here and now. So we're not always into the fantasy and down the road and honey, do I think about this? Nah. I need this bill paid today. We got to go ahead and get these hours in and what have you. Right. And in that disconnect, you know what I'm saying, people can now get into their feelings. You know what I'm saying? From a man's perspective, I'm doing my job. So why are you expecting me to worry about this when that doesn't pay these bills? And the woman's like, listen, I need you to see me, you know, in this light so you can love me in this light because I need to be here because this is where I'm trying to go. All right, great. But one thing about communication is not just talking, but also how to listen. We need to learn how to do both because it takes a little bit of work on both aspects. Learning how to speak to not just speak, but how to speak to that person. And learning how to listen, but not just listen, but know how to listen to that person. And that's what comes from the growth and of a relationship and expectations. That's not even expectations. That's just who you choose to be. At this point in my life, I don't believe in living up to any woman's expectation because I should have already established myself as a good enough man that I should be living up to those expectations anyway. And if I'm not, or if there's a problem in it, don't even waste your time over here. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and expect you to have some type of level of growth in yourself where I shouldn't be putting unnecessary expectations on you. Things that we should have already gotten to as adults. We ain't 20.
I'm going to dig a little deep with this one right here, and I'm going to ask this question. When were Black women given the right to even establish they had expectation? It wasn't until the 1960s, really.
The hell you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking? What?
Think about it like this right here. Black women, you know, historically.
No, go ahead.
You were the last black women were the last one to be given rights. No,
they were the last one to be given rights. Wait. In society, but not in the household.
I'm talking about in society. I'm not talking about necessarily the household. So
but
you've been fighting
about relationships in the household, not so much. All right, go ahead. So what you're saying? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Black women have been fighting an uphill battle, and now, once again, this is not in the household. But if you take a look at society and how social media has had the impact on society, Black women now are expressing their expectation in social media. So you're seeing that expectation play out more and more in social media, and a lot of times, these same expectations. You guys may not say it inside the house, but you may put it out or display it on social media.
So are you saying that expectations are built by the illusion of social media?
It is now.
Do y'all agree with that?
I think they may be furthered because somebody can come across something and they're like, oh, you know what? I like that. I'm going to add that to my list of expectations. But
okay, I think I feel to say so if you look on the internet, there's certain circles, like if you go on YouTube and you look at there are groups like Manosphere group and these certain people, all they talk about and show is a certain type of woman, certain type of man, you know, and everybody looks at that and they think that's what it is. They think that all women want like a six-figure man with a six-pack and big penis. And a lot of regular women aren't like that, and they're, you know, so that gets pushed out, and that's kind of the narrative that gets pushed. So that's the hype. So now, guys, I see young dudes talking about, you know, like all women just want our money, when that may not be the case. Like, if you talk to like the average woman, they want a good man. Some of, you know, a lot of them do, but there is that narrative that gets pushed, and you see it a lot that, you know, everybody wants like the six-figure man, and then we start talking about how high value people and shit like that, and so it starts to get weird. You know, not everybody believes that. You know, that's the hype. When the average person is just trying to make it and find somebody nice to be with.
That's it. Can I just find somebody who's nice? Just be nice to me. That's it. I'm just, that's all. All them other things, I mean, and it sounds weird, you know, sometimes, you know, it sounds weird, and maybe sometimes I'm double talking, but at the end of the day, just someone who is nice and I can respect and they can respect me. And there's no, and you know, we put down the facade of who we think we need to be for each other, but just really be who we're supposed to be for each other. That's it.
So can I throw out something?
Huh?
Can I throw out something of what you said? And I'm not accusing you of anything, because miscommunication, I don't know you like that, okay, at that level, all right? But if I could use you as an example, if you say, I want somebody to be nice to me, be nice to me. But if somebody is being nice to you, your definition of somebody being nice to you may also entail them doing exactly what you told them to do, what you are telling them to do. No, I'm not saying you, baby, but what I'm saying, I'm using it as an example. Okay. Like, there are some women that may say, I want a man to be nice, just be nice to me. And they may be actually being nice to you. But because of the fact that your true definition at its core has nothing to do with being nice. You want them to do what you tell them to do. Pull out
No,
my seat.
that's not. See, and that's
Open up my door.
Nah, we not see. And the funny thing about it
out there. Go ahead.
There are definitely women who are like that. There are definitely women who are like that. And again, we talk about being monolithic or us all being the same. That's not even it. Because I can tell you, if we go back into my history, I told myself many times the reason why I'm single is because of my choices that I've made, and I've done some dumb shit. But here's the thing: I can honestly tell you, a blue collar man. That's my favorite type of man. It's like I love a blue collar man. I love that's because that's who I was raised to admire. I grew up in a neighborhood where men would go to work every single day, and they had some of them had briefcases, but a lot of them had on uniforms because they was MTA and FDNY and all them things there. So I admire those type of men. I also admire men who get out there and get it. You know what I'm saying? Get out there and get it. I love a man who can fix a car. I love a man who can go underneath the pipes and clean, and do the plumbing. I love that type of shit. But that's me. Not every woman is like that.
Is that an expectation though?
But I don't say, oh well, I expect to have a man that's not even it. It has nothing to do with that. See, the thing about it is the whole thing about this whole expectation thing is that it's become something that's almost negative in a lot of ways. People use that word as a negative, and when in actuality, I don't think that it's about being negative as much as you saying this is what I want, and this is what I really want, and this is what I will not. This is what I want. Period.
But is what we want always what we need? It's not. We have all these things. I want this and I want that and I want. But what do you need? Because you need what's going to balance you out, not what's just going to look good for the moment. A want is fleeting. It's changing. 100%. It doesn't last. You can want something in 2023 and before 2024 comes, you know what I mean? So I think that's a problem because women want a man who's emotional, but you don't need a man who's always emotional. You need one that understands your emotions, but you need him to balance you out. We can't both be crying and screaming in a house.
Here's the thing about it. I think Baylor, you want to say something, right?
No, I'm gonna ask miscommunication. Has she ever settled?
When you say settled, what do you mean settled? Because settled is a
have you ever settled? Has a man met, say he met 4 or 5 of your expectations, but didn't meet them all, and you settled because he met all of these, but then long term, those ones that you settled for became a bigger issue.
Well, I wouldn't even so much call it settling as much as I would call it saying, okay, I'm not going to be everything. So I'm not, but there are certain things that there's certain things that I won't settle. So I'm not going to settle for a man who is going to cheat and beat on me. Like that's not a thing. So it all depends on so he don't have a job that makes 6 figures. That's not me settling. That's me being realistic about things that that there's certain things that I'm just not going to get, or in that situation, and that's okay, and that's more than okay. I'm gonna tell you when I met my son's father. His situation, where he was and where he is 2 different places. Are we still together? No, but I watched him go from the bottom, the absolute bottom, to getting up there, and that's the point. I never said, "Oh well, you're not there yet, so that's not where I want to be. That's not who I want to be with." I actually
got bread now.
I mean,
so at this point in time,
my money.
So at this point in time, would you be willing to, let's say, if a guy met your expectations but wasn't financially where you need him to be, would you be willing to watch him grow now?
I do that all the time, and that's why I'm single now. Because right now that's not where my brain is at right now. I'm not even talking about money right now, because sometimes it's like there are men who don't have bank but give more than anybody else. They don't got it, but they'll give it. That's the point. It's like they don't got it. They don't got bread like that. But it's not about what they have. It's about the fact that they will give in terms of who they are. You know what I'm saying? They'll break their back to get it done. You may not have a job that pays you a whole lot of money, but you might go get 2 jobs just to make sure that there's food on the table and there's a roof over our head. I respect that.
When it comes to
110%.
When it comes to the question of like women's expectation, like we've all discussed during this cast tonight, I'm saying they evolve as we grow, right? So now you look at the question, we have to look at, okay, what are the demographics of the people who are answering, and what percentage of the numbers are 30 to 40, 20 to 30, you know, saying 15 to 19 or what have you. Because I think that the younger numbers are the larger numbers, and in the younger society, you have, of course, you know, traditions and expectations, but you also have this new age of entitlement where people feel like they deserve this because it's the top thing, and I should get the top thing because I should want the best for myself. Okay, that's a great idea, right? Well, we all know the numbers don't exactly meet out, so that's when it comes to the numbers as far as, oh, I want a man making 6 figures and all of that and all of that, all of that. Over time, you realize, yeah, you can want that all you want, but how many of those are you going to really come across, and how many of those are you really going to get? And with that, you are most likely not the only person that's really trying to get that person. So now you're in competition, which is one thing that's really, really crazy, right? The competition idea is what makes women want to have their man like a handbag. He's got to be the best Birkin on her shoulder or on her arm. Nah, I'm not. Well, me personally, I'm not with that, right? Like you talked about, you know, a man being in a relationship with a woman and, you know, saying loving their kids and doing all that. I've done that. I've been in a relationship with a woman who had 3 kids for like 7 years. So I went from no kids to 3 kids and did everything I needed to, right? Never needed for nothing. Kids is great. I miss the kids more than I miss her. Deuces, you out, right? But I had to realize it was a thing about, in society now, you have men having to take a step back and take more accountability of themselves, right? Before I go out to this world, because there are 1,000 women out here asking for 1,000 things, I need to know who I am, what I am, what it is that I'm willing to give, and what it is that I'm willing to deal with. You have a lot of people talking about ghosting. Niggas ain't ghosting, they just not putting up with shit no more.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Right, I know a lot of times I hear women say like, man, they can't handle me. Nah,
don't nobody want to handle you.
They ain't not dealing with that BS.
Yeah, I don't want to have to handle the woman in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm gonna let that handle go.
When it comes to expectations, people think that, oh, if I get a person that does these things, it's going to make me happy.
Yeah.
Nobody will make you happy.
If you're not happy,
all you do is find your own happiness and be willing to share that with somebody else. But if you ain't happy, ain't nobody gonna do it. But you're looking for happiness from somebody else, and these are a list of things that they have to have in order to make you happy.
How you know?
You're idiots.
That's why I said it's called self-esteem. Everything you're looking for starts with self, and I think that a lot of people have forgotten that.
Looking for love and all.
I want to know. Hey, I want to know what the elephant is.
Yeah,
so elephant. Come on,
Facebook. Hey, I want to. Hey, tell us the elephant. What elephant is in the room?
Miss Fern,
rip off the band-aid. What's wrong with it?
Miss Fern made this comment. Miss Fern, if you are still watching, please tell us what the elephant is in the room that we are not addressing. Go ahead and type it in there. And also, Mr. Bridges, I think it's Corey. Corey, if you're still watching, I read your comment too, love. Elaborate. We got a little time today. Come on with it. Please put it in there. So we can.
Here go. Look, here go.
Oh, sex.
Oh, I think we did kind of touch on that when it came to sex. Well, the doc did a little bit.
Not really.
Sexual expectations.
Yes, sexual expectations.
I expect you to be good.
No. No. Wait. Here's the problem. Wait. Seriously though, all jokes aside, a big problem with that is a lot of our first experiences with sex before we actually have it is watching it on films and on videos, and we're thinking like, yo, that's what it is, right? Pornography is not reality, right? And now, listen, I've seen all the extreme stuff, and now the extreme is starting to become the norm, and now everybody wants to do the norm, and everyone is a deep throater and a gag, and they spit all this, and they do all of that and all that. I don't need all of that.
It's swallowed.
That's not real.
I mean,
it's saliva everywhere.
Facts, though. I mean, he really is spitting facts. Like,
I just want to say, I think a lot of this is really culture. I mean, I said, but a lot of this is culture based. I really don't believe if like we polled, women from other cultures, that these would be some of the same issues. Because in some cultures, like there are arranged marriages, so it's not. Right. You can't
With
have any
sex?
expectations. So when we ask, like, do women have realistic expectations? I mean, I think we're talking about it very. So I'm going to change my answer. Actually, I'm actually going to say yes, women do. I think even I'm speaking from like a jaded perspective because of just the women who I've dealt with, but that's not women across the board. And a lot of the expectation, a lot of the issues that we're talking about are very, like, again, a very small group of men. But this is not. I don't think this is across the board. This is just in our world, but I don't think this is.
But
I think what the problem is, like many things, right? Even if it is a small amount of people who have unrealistic expectation, it is the loudest. It is in our face all the time, right? It is the, what do they call that? The clanging of dishes compared to everything else. And that's what you see. That's what's on the front end of social media. That's what sells. That's what's on television. Those are the movies that you watch. I think, though, those are the things that draw our attention, and then we believe that that's what's in the front.
Yeah, that's the norm. But I genuinely, I'm like I said, I'm changing my answer. That's not the norm.
He's like, I take it back.
Yeah, I do take it back. I don't think it's the norm.
Joe, I want to be with you. I want to be with you, right? But on a certain level, it's like we want our relationships to be as satisfying as like 1940s cooking, like in an old oven, but we want it to come out in a microwave society. And ain't nothing ever come out of a microwave that tasted like it came out of an oven. And no, I'm being dead real. Like there is a certain amount of time and investment that we have to make into things to get out, but we want our relationships to be Bitcoin. We want to be able to put in the least amount and get out the biggest return immediately.
Right.
But when you say we, who is that specifically?
I'm speaking on a society level as far as
society in large, because society includes, again, I think that's more so our culture, but I don't think it's
American society. American society.
No, he's talking about brown people. He's talking about color. He's talking about black people, African American people in general.
Not even just black people. I'm talking about American society, right? Which is always based off of making money and selling stuff. There's always going to have something to sell you, right? The thing about it is now they want you to buy it up quicker and quicker. Everything is a soundbite. Everything is, a quick flash in the pan, and it's going to try to make you move and try to make you do a decision off of a small amount of time, right? We make decisions based off clips that we see on social media that someone shows of a 10-second clip of a 3-minute conversation, and we're ready to make a whole decision based off that small clip by itself. And that is because we get it quick, we make a decision quick, and we want to move quick. Microwave society.
I hear you, but I don't think that's the overall, because even when I go back home, that's not the overall, like it's much slower home. I think that's true or has relevancy in larger cities but like back in the country, I don't think any of that microwave, like people just find their lover, and I mean that's kind of it. Like it's not like a very fast microwavable thing. Like again, I think
what's that date app? The first one that came out, what was it? With a swipe left and swipe right. Which one? What was that?
Oh, Tinder.
Yeah. Have you ever been on Tinder or any social dating app?
Nah.
Well,
God bless you.
Right. You are an aberration. You are an aberration, bro. But let me ask you a question. If you think of your 5 closest homeboys, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that none of them have been on it, or some of them, or probably most or all?
Let me think. I know my homie Trey and my homie Kemal. They
you don't have to use names. You don't have to use names.
They dropping names. I'm sure they.
Yeah. You're not supposed to be dropping names.
He don't know. He young. He don't know.
Right. Well, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. What I'm saying is that is an advent of this quicker microwave society, you know what I'm saying? Versus traditional dating, I'm gonna swipe right, swipe left, let this person know how I feel, and we gonna get at it or not.
Yes, at the court, the person she was with,
Plenty
No,
of fish.
it was like
is
a long
what
process.
That's
Once
the one.
again, this is a direct reflection of where we at in society with social media.
Yeah,
You
but
have
again,
you have that disconnect.
and,
No.
and where I guess I'm trying to challenge you all is like I think we're speaking extremely broadly by saying society, because I don't think this is.
I agree.
Matter of fact, I
agree.
know I am confident enough to say this is not all of society, because
Right.
this is our. I hate saying our culture, but it is.
No, I understand
our
what you're
culture. These are the
saying.
conversations and the actions that I see amongst Black people. But this isn't across the board society. I don't think these expectations. Matter of fact, I know these expectations aren't had in like other cultures and other ethnic groups. So,
but it's not solely in the Black culture, because I can tell you, as far as the whole dating and Black thing, I've seen a lot of our caucus brothers and sisters,
they wilding out too.
Wilding all the way out.
They wilding out
all
too.
the way out. And as a matter of fact, to be honest with you, a lot of that wilding preceded our getting into it, because it used to be seen as that's a white thing, doing the whole wilding out, super wilding out on spring break, and then we
Girls Gone Wild.
You got a Freaknik documentary. Girls Gone Wild.
At day spots. It's as a person who lives in Florida, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on in Florida? Y'all are special.
Hey man, listen,
Florida is a place where a lot of people go to wild out.
Right.
So I'm speaking based off of, and I mean Asian, white, Indian. Now, is it a traditional thing? No, but these are the younger people in those societies who are starting to step off from some of the traditions when they can get away and do it. And that's why I say it's more of a it's also a generational thing with age. You know what I'm saying? The numbers probably are skewed because you have more young kids who are answering the question who do think like this, because it is what they do see. But again, this is being based off of them seeing city girl lifestyle and saying, okay, well, this is what I want. Somebody said about want versus need, right? They're seeing things and talking about, okay, well, this is what I want. And in their mind, I deserve this because I want it. That's just enough.
Yeah.
Entitlement.
So I'm going to pause us here. This was really good. We will have a part 2 version of this on our ladies show. We'd love for each of you to join us there. And I can send you the information. But I think what this opened up is maybe not the expectation portion, but more of the challenges between men and women and the dating, like the virtual and the, hey, women think men think this, but men are like, nah, that's you, that type of thing. So I would love to invite you all to join us to have that conversation, because this opened up about 4 other topics. I'm just letting you know. Right?
100%.
That's one right there.
Look, and why Black women don't submit, and the challenges of dating and virtual dating.
Who don't submit? Here's the thing about it. A lot of people ask for stuff in relationships, both men and women, and they never ask the question, do I make this person feel like they should want to do it?
Submission comes with the feeling of security. You're not going to submit if you're not secure. I'm not going to follow if I don't trust where you're going to lead. Again, a whole nother topic.
We can't even go.
I can go way the deep end with this one right here, but
we will come back. We will come back. I invite each of you to come back, and I'll send you the information. I invite each of you to come back. I want to thank each of you. I want to thank each of you for being here tonight. I want to thank everyone who is watching us on live, on YouTube, and however you watched us. We want to thank you. And we want to thank the Experience family for sticking to us. And thank you for joining the Experience, where the experience is always good. Have a wonderful...
Wait, hold on. If you ain't subscribed to the YouTube,
he said, hold on, cuz.
Subscribe to YouTube, join the group.
Go ahead, Mr. Chocolate. Go ahead.
Gotta tell them.
Tell them again, baby. Tell them again.
Hit the bell and like the stuff. You watch this and you like it, hit the like.
You watched it and you loved it. Join the group. Make us feel wanted. Hit the
Make us feel good.
Touch it.
And if you know me,
like
you on my page,
on Monster Ball.
If I bought Girl Scout cookies from you, if I bought lotions and potions and all this stuff, you need to subscribe to my stuff for free. The people be
We
selling
will
stuff.
be.
I
We will be back. We will be back. This is worth touching again. Again, I enjoyed each of y'all opinions. We will be back. Thank you for joining the experience, where the experience is always good. Good night.
Peace.